Okay, so it's super duper cold outside. And it's been cold for what, 3 days now? We had an ice storm. It was terrible. We couldn't work. We've been making sure everything doesn't freeze. And snow is in the forecast for tomorrow. So we haven't had any chance to make a YouTube video about any farm things because there hasn't been any farm things going on. So what are we gonna do today?
Cook.
We're gonna make chicken soup. Mom's gonna show you how to make chicken soup because that's all we can think of to do today.
That's not true.
Here we go.
So it's cold outside, like almost about to snow. That's not the proper way to say that. It
doesn't matter. It's almost about
to snow outside, and we wanted something that would keep us warm to eat. And so when it snows and it's cold, we make soup. And one of my favorite soups is one that my mom made when I was a kid. A simple recipe. And we thought since we put rice in the soup, it would be cool to put it on a video so you can make some soup maybe with your family while you're stuck in the house and it's cold. And you could eat some rice because we like for people to eat rice.
We might be a little biased on the rice part.
Just a little bit. The first thing you need for chicken soup is a chicken. And it's better if you do a whole chicken instead of boneless chicken breast or even thighs because it has the bones in it and it has the guts in it, which we'll not call guts because that's kind of gross, but it is the liver and the neck and the gizzard and the heart and all that, and it just makes the broth richer. So if that grosses you out, I'm sorry, but
it's just better.
It's
whole
just
chicken,
better.
Skin, fat,
everything.
The
whole thing goes better. So I've already rinsed this chicken, take it out of the package, rinse it, and then we're going to put it in the pan. Now this stock pot is kind of cool because it was Jeremy's grandpa's. He used to make his gumbo and jambalaya in it, and it's something that Jeremy got when he passed away. So we like to think of Papa when we make something in this pot. So it's rinsed, it's in the pot, and now we're gonna season it. So a little trick to make your broth really good and rich is to put the celery stems and leaves in there. I just stick it all in there with the chicken, and then I take an onion and cut it in half, put it in there with the chicken, all of it. We'll take that out before we make the soup, but that'll make it really rich. So now we'll put some garlic powder in there. Now if you're sick with a cold, add extra garlic because it helps you get better. Onion powder.
And if you can't taste, you can taste garlic.
You can taste garlic. Okay. I always put a little bit, just a little bit of thyme. Gives the broth a good flavor too. I always salt it generously.
When we're eating it later, we'll be like, it's not salty.
And I'll put a bunch of salt in there. Now pepper, generously. And I always do minced garlic. Put that in there. Don't be shy. Garlic is good. And then I put bay leaves in anything that I boil. Anything. I'd put it in dumplings and soup and everything. Drop some of those in there. And I like to put browning seasoning and sauce. I don't know why. It just makes it better.
Gives the broth a really rich flavor.
Makes it dark. So I'll pour that in there.
That smells really good.
I think I put a little.
Smell it.
I think I put too much, but
it'll be good.
It'll be fine. And then we fill up the pot. Turn off the water. Put the lid on, but leave you some space so it has room to let the steam out.
It's gonna boil hard.
Turn on the burner. Come on, burner. And I usually put it, somewhere on medium. Depends on how soon you need to eat.
Which we need to eat really fast. Yeah. Turn that baby up.
Turn it up. And let it boil, and we'll check on it in a little bit.
Come back later.
Okay. So, the next thing we're gonna do is make our rice. Now, this rice, we just so happen to grow on the farm, And we learned a long time ago that medium grain rice is better if you rinse it. So I poured in my strainer. This is 2 cups of rice. And I'll rinse the rice through the strainer. And that just kind of washes all the chalk off and makes it cook a little better. I don't know if that's the right term or not.
It helps in the cooking process.
It helps the cooking process. So I'll rinse it. And some directions say to rinse until the water runs clear. I just rinse until I feel good about it. And I say, that's good. So I'll tap it off. Water out of it. Okay, rice cooker. Okay, so I like to use a rice cooker. So I'm gonna dump my rice in the rice cooker. That's 2 cups of rice. So I'm gonna do 3 cups of water. All right, so that was 2 cups of water. I'm adding another one, makes it 3. So I did 2 cups of water. No, I did 2 cups of rice, 3 cups of water. And that's just kind of the way we like it. So if you like it drier or sticky or whatever, you can do a little different. That's the way this rice cooks the best. It kind of varies with the varieties of rice and types of rice.
Read the bag that you get.
Read the bag that you get.
Read your cooker.
Yep.
And
So
do it the way you know best.
do it the way you like it. You can also do it on the stovetop. I'm just lazy, I guess. So we're gonna start the rice cooker, and there it goes. Okay. So let's check on our chicken. We're gonna peek in, and it's done. I've already actually turned it off, letting it simmered for about 2 hours. It's down on low, just keeping it warm. So I'm gonna turn it completely off, and I'm gonna fish it out of here. See how we can get it out. It's not always easy. This is big chicken. I'm kind of short. No, nope.
Really short.
I'm really short. It's not gonna come apart in one piece. It's not gonna come apart in one piece. It's not gonna come out in one piece.
It's gonna come apart in many
It's gonna
pieces.
come apart in many pieces. So,
It just means it's more tender and better.
okay, we'll see. Our broth looks good and rich and dark. If you don't like dark meat in your soup, you can just go ahead and cook a whole chicken, and then when you take the chicken out of the broth, you can take the breast meat off the bone and put that back in your soup and leave the dark meat out. But if you skimp and just use chicken breast, then you don't get the richness of the broth that you want.
Let's look at that broth.
And your soup's taste will suffer and not have the depth of flavor that you want it to have. So, did that sound professional?
Very.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna let our chicken cool because we don't want to burn our fingers while we take it off the bone. And while that cools, we're gonna go ahead and chop up our vegetables. All right, so I have peeled an onion, carrots, and potatoes. I use red potatoes in this soup. I think it's a little bit better. You can use the little bitty ones that you find in the store and just half them and leave the skin on. I decided to peel these just because that was the mood I was in today. Anyway, we're gonna cut these up and we're gonna put them in our broth that we made. Here we go. So I like to put cream of chicken in the broth because it makes it thicker, gives it some consistency. It's something we've always done. I like it. You can leave it out if you don't want it in there, but I like it, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, so cream of chicken goes into the pan with the broth. Now remember, we already took the chicken out. So add these cans. And I'm going to whisk that in. Okay. I'm going to turn that on to a simmer. What you don't want to do is let it come to a hard boil because it'll separate. Look kind of, don't know, it doesn't hurt it, but it always looks weird to me when it does that. So it stays thicker and the consistency stays better if you just keep it at a simmer. So I'm going to bring it to a simmer and then we'll put our vegetables back in. Okay. Now that it's come to a simmer, we're going to add our potatoes, onions, and carrots into the broth. This is tricky, it'll splash. We'll stir those in. And we're going to let those cook for a little bit before we add our chicken because our chicken's already done, so it doesn't need to be in there very long. So I'm going to put the lid on that, let the veggies simmer, come back and add the chicken.
The dogs are interested.
Yes, they are. Do y'all want some chicken? Do y'all want some chicken? You do? You?
Yummy chicken.
Alright. So the potatoes and that's hot. That's really hot. The potatoes and the onions and the carrots have cooked down. They're tender. And now we're gonna add our chicken that just magically came off the bone. Not really. But if you leave it sitting around long enough, somebody will pick it off because they want to eat the chicken. So now, that's all put together. We'll get a good look. And now let's fix a bowl and put some rice. Now we're going to put some soup in the bowl. Okay. We're going to bring it over here. You want to see the rice? Now we're going to add some rice to the soup. So there's a myth or an urban legend or something that says you can't have rice and potatoes together. We just messed that up because you can. And in fact, it's really good together. So you can have two starches. And rice and potatoes really do go together well. So this is what the finished soup looks like.
Puppies like the way it looks.
Hang on, let me get a spoon. Now that you have your soup all made and together, and your rice in your bowl, and everything's nice and warm, this goes really well with cornbread. It goes really well with a grilled cheese. That's probably my favorite. So now that you're stuck home in the snow, it's cold outside, make you some chicken soup and enjoy the beautiful weather.
And like, subscribe,
subscribe, and ding that bell thing.
comment, ding the bells, all the bells.
Ring the bell, all the bells.
Do all that.
Subscribe.
Thank you.
And since this is my first time, give me some grace.